Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Leo March 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of readings for Leos over the course of the last month, and if you might be interested to see what's involved in having a one-on-one clairvoyant experience with me from anywhere in the world, just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, of course, I charge for clairvoyant readings. They're very psychically and physically taxing. They're also a great value. But what I am compelled to announce now is something that is not charged for, and that is free. And that is that amongst the spiritual gifts, the few spiritual gifts that were provided to me on my birth, clairvoyance being one, healing is another. And for the last 30 years or so, I have, in my own country and in different parts of the world, undertaken and produced healing to people who need it. And the source has directed me, or reminded me, I suppose, that it is my sole contract or sole purpose to now offer that to a much broader audience over FaceTime and Skype from wherever you live in the world. And it takes about 15 minutes, sometimes less. It is provided for free, so I give it to you for free. There's no obligation. I don't sell or recommend any products or services. I don't suggest you should get a clairvoyant reading from me. It's done as a spiritual duty. Now, there are some laws in some countries, I understand, that require me, and I don't know where this ends up, to tell you that you must also, at the same time, but it's a good practice anyway, to seek professional medical service and advice in conjunction with the healing that I provide you. I think you and the doctors will be pretty astounded. Now, that's just by the by. So if you would like to see, and as I say, it's free and no obligation, takes about 15 minutes, and I'll fit in, there's a limited number of things that I can do in a day. I do a lot of readings. I can do a bunch of healings at the start of the day or between readings. But if that's something that's of interest to you, or you might know someone who it's an interest to you, they don't have to have seen me here on YouTube. They don't have to have any previous interaction at all. Just take advantage of it. And as I say, it's no cost. It takes about 15 minutes or less. Now, but go and see a professional doctor is what I have to tell you. Now, as the subscribers know, and great always to see the subscribers, that, oh, by the way, subscribers, I'm actually going out on a date tonight. It's astonishing, with a beautiful woman. Well, all women are beautiful, I suppose, aren't they? This beautiful woman is an accountant. So it's going to be an interesting evening, you might imagine, for us both. But the thing is that, well, for me, beautiful women are like kryptonite, and I am powerless. So I'm happy to listen to numbers all night long. Have a couple of glasses of wine, some good food, and good conversation, and a few laughs, and I'll leave it at that. Now, what we will do... Oh, did I say there are no video advertisements breaking into the content? The subscribers know that, and it's great to see you. So you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted of this reading. Now, I'm going to take 5 cards, because it's all we need in our reading, and they speak volumes to us. There is the 4 of Cups. Here is, for you, the 4 of Wands. Gee, this is interesting. This looks great. There's the 5 of Pentacles. It's a funny thing to come up in the middle of that. 2 of Cups. Well, you're sticking out, whomever you are. And there is the 4 of Swords. So, good. Why don't you come now, as is our usual practice. Sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Now, very, very interesting. Let's have a look at some stuff. Okay, let's work down this diagonal and go from there. That's what I'm getting. 4 of Cups. What's happening here? Let's have a look. Well, I think I know what this is. When I was a schoolboy, I had to do 8 years of Latin, and as a result of that, basically did Roman ancient history as well. Look, the art on here shows a magical spell being cast using two objects that were frequently found throughout the ancient Mediterranean. A figurine pierced with needles, like a sort of a voodoo doll, and a curse tablet. Now, although these items were used in a wide variety of spells, they were frequently used in love curses, and such curses were designed to bind a victim emotionally, and the object of the curse were often deposited in bodies of water. The lead that the curse tablet was made from wasn't only just popular as a writing material, but was also heavy, dull, and cold, thus symbolic of the emotional binding magic that prevented the victim from feeling any form of love or desire for anybody else other than the magician. Now, I think what this card is saying in the position that it's in there is that it's time to bring balance back to the heart, and it indicates a time to reflect on the emotional self. It presents the opportunity to shift stuck energy. Now, when this Four of Cups enters in this position, and it is the first card that you drew, you may be feeling out of sync, uncertain, perhaps even apathetic about life. Is that possible for you? Maybe not sure what action to take. Well, it calls you to reevaluate your present situation, your relationships, and your emotional attachments. The key to this Four of Cups energy is self-reflection, viewing and reevaluating outgrown emotional parts, shifting energies of discontentment to a place of neutrality. And the gift of this energy restores emotional balance, bringing peace, renewal, and movement. You know, I really do think that when this energy comes in here and enters as the first card, it signifies that something is off, signaling a time to rebalance, allowing time to withdraw, to regain emotional balance and trust in your heart. Ease your emotions with maybe with meditation, or just relaxing, reading an inspirational book, or videos, or taking a long walk in nature, and now is the time to do that. Will open yourself to the whispers of your soul and the divine. This isn't a time to make hasty conclusions or decisions. Ask yourself, what feels outgrown? Where do I need to let go? And how do I do that? What will bring more fulfillment to my life? Embrace and trust the cycles of change. This Four of Cups represents one of the many cycles in life that brings the gifts of inner cleansing. This energy can bring expansion and growth as well, and emotional stability, of course. The Four of Cups brings the opportunity to open yourself to heart wisdom, thus allowing you to shift and move stuck energy, revitalizing your heart, mind, and senses. The tools of meditation obviously are very good, and yoga is good if you do that. That's a good practice, because they can assist you in changing up blocked energy. Now, where did I say we were going to go to next? I think I will do this one in the... Look, this is obviously has a conversation to be had with you, and it's not predicting anything, I don't think, but what it's doing is it says, listen to what I have to tell you now. It's important that you listen, it says, because I've turned up in the middle here. Now, the image shows two old men huddled together in a small boat, trying to take shelter beneath the branches of a tree on the lakeside. One is wearing simple peasant clothing, the other wears only a loincloth. They are thin, cold, and in need of aid. Around them, monsoon rains fall. Behind them, 5 golden pentacles float away on the lake, symbolic of all they have lost. and a beautiful temple rises high above the water, rich and majestic. Now the contrast between the condition of the men and the wealth of what is behind them, well, it's really quite stark, isn't it? It's clear that they have been ignored and ostracized by a society that's obviously capable of great art and beauty and is rich in material wealth. Yet still, these men go cold and hungry and unsheltered. Now, what small action would it take to bring them out of their suffering? What kind words? This is saying that it is for you, I think, and it's with this card here. It's not surprising that it is really, at least for a moment of this month, because so many other good things are going on, but a time for you to do some soul searching. Now, what I mean by that is that your soul self is beckoning you to reconnect to your spiritual self by regaining your faith and strength, leading to transformation and spiritual growth. It gets down to the bare bones of what is true wealth. Material wealth can bring freedom and security, but it can also trap you in its structure, making you vulnerable to worldly mishaps. The riches of inner wealth are your spiritual strength and the strong love in your heart. They can't be taken from you. Inner wealth brings self-love and an inner freedom separate from the material desires. Yeah, I think this 5 can bring upheaval and change to lifestyle, finances, health, and relationships. Anything you think is solid and stable, you understand, is always at risk. We are like children playing out our lives on the world stage. In fact, I think it was Shakespeare that said in one of his plays, "All the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their entrances and their exits." And it goes on. This life is like a play. Misfortune, you know, and struggle, they are in the script of all of our lives. When you came to Earth, you are an immortal spirit, but when you came down here, you entered into, if you'd like, I'd call it a soul contract, or set out a blueprint of what life would have in store for you, with ups and downs, so that you can grow through things, so you can experience the things that can only be experienced in the material world and that can't be experienced in spirit. So we'll understand that every time a dark cloud comes along, the sun shines brightly again. Always, inevitably, always. Now, misfortune and struggle, they are in the script, giving opportunities to expand yourself spiritually and collectively. But understand this, the source is always there guiding you through life's journey. So are your spirit guides. You have them, you know. Now, sometimes faith in the spirit is something, or sometimes the only tool you possess is what you might have in your mind. And yet that is not the case at all. Let's have a look to see what this card at the end of that diagonal has to say. And it is this. And what do you have to tell me, my darling? What do you have to say to my friend here? Well, here in this image, there is a young woman resting by a fire, I guess, that she has built out in the forest. It's night time, isn't it? And the stars blaze in the sky above the tree canopy. Now, by her side, sleeping, is a tame wolf. And dangling idly from her fingers is a quill pen. There is a full sheet of writing already completed beneath it, by the looks of things. And she stares into the distance in deep thought, possibly reflecting on what she has already written, or considering the ideas she wants to put down on the paper next. On a tree nearby is a wooden shrine to Freya, the Norse goddess of magic, fertility, death, and beauty. Now, I guess we can imagine the peace, the solitude, the relaxation, and the warmth that this scene evokes, and hear nothing but the gentle breeze through the trees and the crackling of the fire. Perhaps these, coupled with the even breathing of her animal companion, lull the woman into a meditative state, trance-like, in which the flames of the fire take shape and the stars above become tapestries of stories. Look, at the end of this diagonal, and considering the energies that we've just looked at, do you know what happens? This 4 is now bringing the opportunity of calm, peace, and introspection. It whispers, listen to your inner self. Recognize when it's time to withdraw from the craziness of life. It signals pressures and stresses in life are getting out of control, perhaps creating mental tension that is unhealthy for the body and spirit. The ego, mind, needs to acknowledge it's time to retreat, and there is peace given to you here. The key to this 4 is removing yourself from outside influences and distractions, taking time to decompress, reconnecting to your purpose, thus revitalizing the body, mind, and spirit. Now, the gift of the 4 of Swords is rest, regeneration, and healing. This represents a time out from the daily pressures and difficult situations, with a need to seek a place of peaceful seclusion for solitude and regeneration. Now, when life's disturbances become overwhelming, you become disarrayed and exhausted, creating stress with the mind, body, and spirit, don't you? But through rest, you can release the unrest, regenerating your inner spiritual strength, bringing clarity to your thoughts, and healing your body. Once you allow yourself to relax, a stillness bringing, it descends this stillness, and it brings introspection, looking within, allowing the ego mind to calm and meet with the inner realm of the self. At this point, you are presented the opportunity to reflect and reassess the situation or issues that are causing anxiety. Now, because this card has entered, honor and recognize when you need quiet time. Are you feeling stressed, overworked, or in a difficult situation with no solution or insight? Is your energy draining away and not being replenished? Well, the 4 of Swords signals a time for recuperating and healing. It tells you withdraw, quiet the mind, reevaluate, and be open to possibilities that you have not even considered. Go within, explore, meditate, and renew your spirit. Step back into the world of life regenerated with the confidence and a new outlook. Sometimes just a little nap or a short walk outside will do the trick. Plan a restful vacation if you can, or treat yourself to a retreat or a spa. Create a safe, comfortable place to retire, giving you a space to relax, to think about things, and to recharge your energies. Okay, now I think, look, everything starts to pick up for you. After that time when you might have been feeling a bit miserable, but you saw it, you shake it off and you get on with things, because have a look at this. This is great for you. You've got both power and love coming your way, and let's have a look at them both, shall we? And here we are here. Now, this is an ancient Egyptian scene, I would imagine. Yes, it's one of celebration and consolidation of power. The new pharaoh has been crowned, and praised by the people who give thanks at the base of the temple in which the coronation is taking place. Now the wands of power surround him at the four directions, adorned with flower gardens, and the pharaoh carries the crook and the flail of kingship from those times, and they're items that are frequently depicted in Egyptian imagery and also in their hieroglyphics. Now, I think that the timing of this scene is vitally important. It is taking place at what can only be said to... Let me move this over there a bit for you so you can see that. It can only be... It's taking place at what I am just assuming to be and can only be sunset, during the time, I would say, of the harvest, following the annual inundation of the Nile River. It floods. It used to, well, I think it still does, but it certainly did then. Each year it would flood, which would bring fertilized earth, and people would be able to plant, and there's productivity and fertility. Now, during that inundation, or that flood, the Nile would allow its rich minerals to be deposited on the land, and that would put all the nutrients in there, you see. And then when it receded, the crops would grow and the harvest would be plentiful. And these crops actually can be seen in the card image, rising tall behind the pharaoh, the Red Nile snaking off into the distance. This is really a card of completion. It is set at sunset, a time for enjoying what has been experienced and learned throughout the day, and to ready oneself for night time. So I really do think that for you it does bring celebrations, parties, celebrations, achievement and rewards for you. A passion of yours has been realized, I think, and you are enjoying the fruits of your labor. You feel joyful, free, energized and happy, and all is well and life is jubilant. As I say, you've shaken off those clouds that were around there. They were just in your mind. Now, the key to this energy is taking time out, though, to enjoy your success. Also, bearing in mind that planning your next move is crucial to rejuvenate creative energies into future achievements. The gift of this energy presents prosperity, celebration, contentment, a harvest, really, and harmony. This represents development and growth. You are on the right track and making progress. Through hard work and enthusiasm, you've brought about a successful accomplishment. But this energy also brings renewal, development, new ideas, strengths and concepts, and a level of perfection, I'm feeling, has been reached, and you are riding the energetic wave of creativity to the next horizon of possibilities. This brings movement in new directions as well for you. As you enjoy the harvest of your efforts, begin to plan your next step toward the future. With success, you can easily become just content and satisfied with its comfort and security, which can lead to stagnation. So to keep that energy moving, the actions of completion and starting need to be kept cycling. Eventually, there is a need to unleash your creative energy, channeling it to new opportunities. This fall moves energy from the successful platform you have created to open horizons of new imagination and inspiration. And when the Four of Wands enters, as it has done like this, I think you've completed something with great success. Fulfillment and reward are going to flow to you. You're going to find that you are now free from constrictions, maybe from well, it's very difficult to get rid of deadlines, I think. But you're not going to feel hemmed in. There's a well-being, a high energy and stamina with you. This card presents, well, hospitality, hosting people, having fun, joy, generosity and celebratory events. Possibly a wedding I see here. birthday maybe for someone that you know. Your achievements give you a moment to breathe and to take in the journey that brought you to the present. It also suggests not to rest on your laurels of success for too long, or you can miss opportunities. There are doors opening up for you. This 4 indicates new levels of growth and development in a project or in a relationship or a lifestyle that brings harmony. Now, when the time is right, grab the golden ring of new possibilities and move forward to a new chapter in your life. Now, that takes us finally to this card, which is in this position, Venus in Cancer. Venus, the most receptive of planets, the planet of relationship, beauty, harmony, and love. And Cancer, the sign of nurturing and development. Now, in this picture here, we see a man and a woman in a romantic, intimate moment. They are sharing a glass of wine by the looks of it, and look like they have been engaging in conversation. This is clearly not only a sexual relationship, but one in which both parties can share with each other and experience love and companionship. Now, the Two of Cups symbolizes the start of a new relationship. Now, it can definitely be a romantic relationship, but it doesn't necessarily have to exclusively be a romantic relationship. It's very fulfilling for relationship. Now, obviously, there can be an emotional or a sexual aspect to it, but it's a relationship that can become very deep and one which blossoms into a committed union of the heart. This represents that you might have a strong physical attraction going on combined with a deep spiritual commitment, because this is symbolizing for me harmony, understanding, healing, and passion. The energy of this partnership emerges with fresh, new, and exciting feelings. The desire to experience and express love without controlling or limiting another brings peace to your heart. Now, this Two of Cups joins together and balances your inner polarities of masculine and feminine aspects. It also activates the physical magnetic force of attraction. So you are going to be attracted to somebody. You may have an existing relationship which deepens, of course. I'm not suggesting that you go looking around outside, but dreams are free, I suppose. But the key to this is to be open to love and the passion it offers. This really is a gift of this card, is that of bliss. So the Two of Cups can also bring the celebration of a marriage or of a union, like moving in together. And it can also bring about reconciliation or truce to conflicts. And it reminds you that compromise can bring new realizations and agreement. It asks that you learn to forgive. And this card's gift of love is healing to the heart and to the body, and also to the spirit. What a fantastic spread of cards for you. Good job, you. Well, I think, I really enjoyed doing that reading for you. Honestly, I did. I thought the artwork was pretty interesting, didn't you? I thought so. This deck, for some reason, really seems to speak to me. I hope that you enjoyed the reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. You're a very special person and I love doing readings for you. Now, there's one thing I want you to remember until I see you next time, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. So until then, it's bye for now.